That's when you can make a decision. Some people need a little more than that, but that's when you can typically make a decision, do I fire my boss or not? Is it, can I go ahead and do this full time if I'm making $5,000 to $10,000 a month? And then there's people that want true financial freedom. There are people that want to be making millions of dollars, and that's also a possibility with this company. Alan will probably make his first $1 million check for 1 month's commission, 1 month, this October. And then he's not going to be the first person to do that in our company. There have been several other people that have made and are making $1 million a month. I know that sounds crazy. Doesn't that sound crazy? But that's true. So, and we're a completely transparent company because we're traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and anything I tell you, you can pretty much look up. Some people just want to have their own business, and there's a lot of ways to have your own business. I had my own business, but it was a business that I started right from the ground up. I spent a lot more money than you'll ever spend in this business. And it was really hard, and I found that what I had really done was I bought myself a job. And I had left a job where I was working 70 to 100 hours a week, and I was like, I'm so over this. I have kids. They don't know who I am. And I bought myself a business, and then I ended up spending another 70 to 100 hours in my business, and my kids were going, I don't want to go to the spa, which are words I never thought I would hear people say. Who says they don't want to go to the spa, right? So there's a lot of different ways to have your own business. Buy it, buy a franchise, put your future in the hands of teenagers, or you can do something like this where you create a network of people and have that, start to actually give you what's called a leveraged residual income. And we'll talk about that tonight. Some people want to have more spare time, and that's one of the wonderful things about this business is you can absolutely have more spare time. Is that what your goal is tonight? Do you want more spare time? Because we can show you how to accomplish that. Personal, early retirement. Some people want to retire early, some people don't want to retire. And either way, you can do that with our business. So you can take your pick. Some people are interested in personal development, and it's been said about this business that this is a personal development journey with a paycheck. And that's exactly what this is. You'll learn more about yourself doing this business than you will, I think, any other way. I've spent years in corporate America, spent years owning my own business, but the things I've learned about myself in this business, I don't know where else I ever would have learned them. If you want to help others, we certainly do that. The whole mission of this company is to help others. We help others in ways that, first of all, we empower people to improve their lives and others' lives by giving them rewarding business opportunities. But we also help them because we feed starving children all over the world. That's one of the ways that we help them, through Nourish the Children. We also help them through our Force for Good Foundation. And that's a foundation that helps to take care of primarily children, but we've helped to work on things like diseases that other people don't have time or the inclination to help cure. For example, EB, which is a disease that affects children. And these children don't live very long because what happens is when you touch their skin is like paper, and it essentially just rubs right off. And so they usually end up getting infections, and some of those can be life-threatening. They don't live very long. So we've been working on finding a cure for that disease. We've helped children with cleft palates and cardiac surgeries and those kinds of things too. And our company was voted most socially responsible company last year by the American Business Awards. We won the Stevie American Business Award for that, and 5 other American Business Awards last year. We kind of swept the Stevies for 2012. It was pretty cool. If you like to meet new people, you're going to meet a lot of new people. You're probably meeting new people tonight. But this business is all about meeting new people. And one of the things we do is we teach you how to meet new people. A lot of people would like to meet other people, but they're afraid, or they don't quite know what to say, or they feel like they stumble when they meet new people. But we're going to help you learn how to meet new people in this business. If you want to leave a legacy to your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, your great-great-great, pick the number of greats, you can do that. Do you know your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother's name? Alan Nagao's great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren are going to know his name. his and Priscilla's names, because they are leaving a legacy to his family, to his children and their children and their children, through what he's been doing with New Skin. It takes people a lifetime to be able to accumulate enough wealth, especially starting from nothing, to be able to leave a legacy to their children. And in a lot of cases, you still can't do it. But this company gives you the vehicle that you can use to do that. You can actually create a legacy for your children. And I know that's something I want to do for mine. There's that child education. Gosh, college is expensive. It costs a lot. And especially when you have one going through for 4 years and then another one right after. And oh, by the way, now the first one wants to go to grad school. So it's like, oh, college is really expensive. But fortunately, we can make enough and more to pay for those college educations and give our children choices. There's so many kids I hear, oh, I'm going to this school or that school. Why'd you pick it? Well, because it's in Georgia, and I can't afford to go out of state. So there's a lot of kids that would like to go to different colleges, but they can't. And it's just the financial reality. So fortunately, through this company, we can absolutely pick where you want to send your kids to school. Of course, you can get your dream house and your dream car, our Audi R8, right? Or whatever else your dream car may be. And your kids are going to be hucking you for their dream car too, but that's okay. You know? And if you want to travel the world, well, we're in 53 countries now, and we're expanding. We'll be in 200 countries before we're done with this. And so it's a really incredible opportunity to travel the world as a tax write-off and make friends. And one of my goals, and I know some of the things that happened to Jonathan and Michelle, Alan, they don't travel the world as tourists. And they'll tell you this. They travel the world as treasured guests. Wherever they go, there's people they know. There are people that welcome them, people that take them around. They're never traveling like a tourist. They're always traveling like a treasured guest. And that's how I want to travel the world. It's so much nicer, right? Yeah. Am I right? Okay. All right. So with that, I wanted to say thank you for coming tonight. I want to thank our team of elites for being here tonight. And I'd like to introduce Jonathan Hilbury, who's going to kick us off.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. So, good evening. Is there a clicker here?
A clicker.
Can I press the button?
I think so.
Can you just do that for me? This is it, I think.
You better maybe go.
Great. It might be the thing that I was using last night. We've been touring around the country, and we just came from Chicago last night on this coach. It's my first time in a rock star's coach. When I was, I learned to do this at 6 years of age with a classical guitar school. And I was very good at doing this, and I was actually doing this and all that kind of stuff at 12, 14, 16, and left school at 16, so I was actually so good at doing that, but I didn't want to do the reading stuff. But I've never gone on a tour bus. So last night was my first time bumping around this thing, which was up and down. It's my kind of fun experience. With the amazing Alan Nagao and my wife Michelle, and it was really fun to talk and just talk about what's happening to this company. So my background is sales and marketing, business and finance, and obviously music. And from the UK, from England. My mother's Portuguese, so I can speak another language, a couple in fact. And came here in, when was it, 2002, 4th of June, just to look for the American dream. I mean, that's really the truth of it. I built a large empire. I had 200 employees at the branding agency that I created from scratch, a very effective business in, can you hear me back there? Loud and clear? Good. Okay, hi. Is there a microphone? Yeah. Okay, well I'll try. If I go down, just do that, would you?
Or you can move forward.
Yeah, you're very welcome to come forward. Because I have a tendency, the more important the message, the quieter I get. It's just how it goes. Anyway, what I'll do, hopefully, is appeal to the business people out here that this isn't something that you can play with, that it's a real business. It took me a long while to realize that that I could make significant income, and the income that comes from this is a very different income from anything that I've ever generated in previous businesses. It's this long-term residual income, and after 8 years, 4 months and 20 days, I can tell you there's nothing like it. I wish I'd learned this 10 years earlier. Probably not earlier than 30, because I wouldn't have respected the income. But after, I've created an organization with the help of Pam, and Michelle, and Amy, and Susie, and all the great people in this room, and Sonia, and there are some fabulous people in Atlanta that are going to start something extraordinary here with all the team of New Skin, by the way. It's a real team organization. We've all got together, all in this room, to do something extraordinary. Now, what is it we're doing? We're building networks. This is social networking. Social networking makes sense to everybody today. Facebook works the way. Instagram got sold for $75 a subscription. It's $1 billion sale to Facebook. Why did they sell it? Because of how people communicate today. Visual imagery. It's part of my background, tone and style. And I used to create programs for companies selling services of a high value to a discerning audience. Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, you name it, business and finance, report and accounts, IPOs. That was my specialist niche. So I was always speaking to shareholders, speaking to boards, creating organizations, creating the stuff that made companies shout about what they were doing. And it was a refreshing change to come to a company that had some really phenomenal products and technologies that I could personally shout about, and then create a network that would fall in love with these products and some would resell. And that's just a very basic. I had a conversation with two gentlemen just briefly. The majority of the consumption is by just customers that love the products. And then 20% go on and resell the product. I love that fact. I love that fact. And the fact that anybody can participate in this, anybody, gives everyone a level playing field. So there's two questions you're going to think about. One, is this real? Is this real? And I'll attempt to answer that using all the validation tools behind me. Is it real? And the second one, the most important one, is can I make money doing so? Can I make money investing some time? A little bit of time, a lot of time, or can I really do something significant? The significance, which Susie was talking about, the significance of what I've created and Michelle has created, what people are creating is going to be long-term, generational, willable asset value. And here's the term that I use in this country. Imagine being grandfathered in to the future rollout of innovation. Anti-aging is just a bit of a woolly word, isn't it? What does really anti-aging mean? What I think it comes down to is anti-ugly. People don't care about getting old necessarily. It's the big excuse, isn't it? People say, oh, that stuff, anti-aging, getting old. No. But do you care about getting ugly? If you don't care, don't bother. You can leave right now. If you don't care about people, leave right now. If you don't absolutely love people and care about people, I learnt in when did I sell that? I went traveling from 89 to 92. I sold my first business, I was 26 years of age, and I went traveling for 6 months, and 3 years later, I'm still with long hair and a backpack in the middle of Indonesia, and I was pretty much traveled out, and I realized, what am I going to do at 28, 29 years of age? 29, what am I going to do? And I realized that just reaching that dream of so-called retirement wasn't good for me. I had to do something, give back. And so this business allows me to fulfill all of that. Anti-ugly, build a business, and give back to people, empowering people, and do something which is really impressive. We all contribute in this company to what is called Nourish the Children, and we all give these bags of Vitamills, and these bags of Vitamills go in, and they're prepared by families to children to children who are dying of starvation. And we've fed over 300 million meals to starving children so far. So I'm just hit a few points, and if you're intrigued by this, which I was when I first heard about this business, you'll be more intrigued to hear that this company is on the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, it's actually at 17.6. It turns into an S&P after a few months. It's now 21 S&P, price earnings ratio of 21.3, I believe. If it maintains that for a while, it'll be one of the biggest companies in the United States, the S&P 500s. Its share price increased by 19.43% in one given day. What I loved about that was the sell-off didn't happen. Typically, market makers go in, they play with stocks, and at the end of the day, come back 4:15, they start to sell off and try to make some profit. That didn't happen. See, what happened was the pension funds and the investment fund managers were investing heavily. Huge amounts of volume was being acquired. This company finally found favor again with the market makers.
Wow.
And then 4 or 5 days later, another 8-point increase. You're going to see a significant play on the stock market. The reason why I mention the stock market is I'm comfortable in this arena. I've worked for many years there. What the stock market has shown me is 6 months later, the share price is addressing the future expectations of profitability and growth in 6 months of the future. So that's the fundamentals. I like to leverage facts. Leverage the facts. And you can go and do your own due diligence on the market, where the share price is, what is happening. I now speak to my friends that have been saying, Jonathan, you do that network marketing thing, that pyramid thing, let's get that one out of the closet right now. The skeleton is coming right out now. Pyramids are illegal, okay? Pyramids are illegal, and anything where you put money at the beginning and it's filtered down as a pyramid, that's illegal. This is purely a matrix, a network. When products are consumed, when they're shipped out, when credit cards are hit, when that money is then received by the company, a percentage of commission comes back to us as a network for putting the network together. It's a very honorable, honest, real business mechanism. And you are judged purely by how many people you've actually introduced to, that you're able to empower and help people do something phenomenal today, which is give back to starving children around the world. I mean, that's a fair business, isn't it? That's what I saw. Now, the term is anti-ugly. No one is anti-ugly, right? It didn't really appeal to me. On the left-hand side, it was skincare. Didn't really appeal to me. The right-hand side of weight management still wasn't really appealing to me. The middle one got me, though. And Dr. Stephen Moore at the back of the room there, between Stephen and myself, 1/3 of every scanner in this country is placed, predominantly with professionals.
Wow.
And 8 years ago, 9 years, Steve and I went to town, and we just went and we created this market, we helped empower people, and we created a program based on that scanner there. You could try that if you want to. It's a hard, hard deal. Isn't it right, Steve? Fun though. You had fun, made a lot of money, right? But that's what got me into the business. The reason why I'm here today, looking at this network marketing company, is because the scanner really convinced me that technology was real. Now, I'll just paraphrase that technology. It measures living tissue more precisely than blood serum. It measures the colourful compounds in fruits and vegetables, the oranges, the yellows, and the reds, lycopene, zeaxanthin, and lutein. The colour of those molecules which makes vegetables colourful, the integrity of that colour retains after consumption, after digestion, after blood flow to the tissue's endpoint. The red, the orange, and the yellows goes into my prostate, the heart, the lungs, and the brain, my eyeballs, and the 92nd organ of my body, right there in the stratum corneum in the fat tissue. It sits there, and that's very spongy like my heart, it's congruent. So I can now measure fistful size servings of fruits and vegetables. 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 4 or 5. What's healthy is about 9 to 12 servings. If you don't score 9 to 12 servings, your risk factors for heart disease, cancer, and diabetes are proven to be correlated to antioxidants in the carotenoids we measure. Everybody will be scanned in the future by that scanner. Why not know where you are today and make a decision? Change how you eat or take a supplement that's proven. That got me. I'm sorry, that got me 8 years ago. It gets me today. There's nothing out there in the world that does what this scanner does. And if you take a supplement, there's not one company in the world that can challenge that statement or has had that technology to manufacture fruits and vegetables in a bag, supplements, trace minerals, micronutrients, marine lipids, antioxidants, all forms of omega-3 and vitamin E. That is the most powerful nutritional product in the world, and we measure it and we prove it, and if it doesn't work in your body, we're going to give you a money-back guarantee. That statement is what every doctor would love to give to their patients. But more importantly, it's what everyone in this room should be on. Take it, try it, whatever. Now, that's what got me going. The juice there, by the way, came with the scanner. Revolutionary technologies, and that gives me a very comfortable place to speak to people about a network marketing opportunity. Make sense? Okay. So let's go through some facts here. The reason why the products and technologies are so impressive is because the science is patented, unique, proprietary, and no one has it. No one in the world has this science. Featured in Time magazine a few years ago, it was the ability to look at the epigenome which rides across the genes. In my tissue, I take my eyeball or my heart tissue, and go into my cell right there, I unravel my DNA within my cell. Stop me if I'm confusing you. It's 2 meters in length, right? And along that cell are 25,000 genes. Discovered in 2003, about $3.4 billion. Thousands of scientists, 15 years, they discovered the human genome, and they're able to count the genes on your DNA. Everyone knew that, and guess what? In 2003, the whole biotech world went nuts on discovering the cancer gene, Alzheimer's gene. That whole market went ballistic. At the same time, one company that had the foresight, the engineering, the relationship with faculties, universities, a full-time board of PhD scientists that left the drug world, having discovered rapamune, Zocor, Lipitor, statin drugs. These scientists, who tired of synthesizing plant chemicals and making drugs, left the drug world to start PharmaNext, the next generation of pharmacy. They are a brilliant organization, unparalleled in the world of nutrition, and they create these technologies. So why network marketing? Why go down this greasy, somewhat badly represented industry? 70 years, 66,000 network marketing companies, not one has a story like this. Okay? To me, it was rubber-soled shoes, polyester suits, and bad haircuts. That was the industry. But I actually like that because, in contrast, we've got products that really work. The difference demonstrated is the strap line. So what's different about this company? It's the only company that deals with the sources of aging. Creme de la Mer, La Prairie, Obagi, all the companies that Susie Hughes knows so well. Priori, companies with real science, and yet she left that world, that retail, wholesale world, for network marketing. Why? Predominantly because the science is a world beater. 22 international patents. I'm going to give you some facts. You have to work out whether or not this is real. But I hope after a while you'll go back and do your due diligence, and then you might try the products, and then you might fall in love with the products, and then you'll feel more comfortable telling your friends, and guess what? Your network is built. That's how it works. So the sources of aging, all those genes lined up. Okay? Now just raise your hand if anyone yawns in 4 in the afternoon, has a little donut, cup of coffee at 10 in the morning, it feels a bit tired in the afternoon. Not good, is it?
No,
Are they tasty? There you go. I agree. And when they come from Atlanta,
yes,
they're air, aren't they? You can't taste them. Someone said, try one of these things. Krispy Kreme from Atlanta. I had like 4. Oh, but here's the problem. The Krispy Kremes in my body at 48 years of age actually form into fat faster and store locally easier, right? That's the comment, right? What if we could have a paradigm change and all of those genes which are doing something when I'm younger are doing something when it's older? What if you can take profiles of 15 years of your fat genes, heart genes, brain genes, lung genes, eye genes, collagen, elasticity genes, all that stuff going on, and actually own that database because you bought a company that's done 15 years worth of research. The only company in the world, LifeGen Technologies, and paid $12 million for this one company that has the profiles of your complete gene profile for 15 years. How is that possible? Because these scientists left the drug world when the whole biotech community was going out, cancer, Alzheimer's, and drugs. They realized there's a whole market over here that no one spent any time on. It is just a genius discovery. And they worked out that all of these genes have a function, and guess what? When you rub plant chemicals over those genes, they function as they used to when you were younger. Patented, clinically proven. Wow. If that's true, there might be a business there. They call it age-lock. Age-lock technology. 30 years of scientifically proven research and 22 international patents. I'll rephrase it one more time. It is the only company with about 5 to 10 years market advantage that can deal with the sources of aging. So my Krispy Kreme enters my tummy and ends up in there. On the 15th of October, I can now reset my epigenome, the software that sits on my hardware and my genes, switch it back on again to perform as it did when I'm 18 years of age. So I was in the UK telling the story, and I've got a guy who's 52 years of age, about 6'4", he's a black belt karate 4th dan, and he works there every single day, very powerful, nice guy. He's the kind of guy that confuses you. He's very peaceful. But then he does karate, you know? And so he said to me, why would I want the product? I said, because, my friend, that's a tub. And then no matter how much you actually work out at 55 years of age, it starts to grow. What if I could focus on that and lose that tub around your waist? I'll buy it. See, this product that comes out, we'll talk about in a moment, is good for everybody. And it's based on this exclusive gene science. So let's go back to age-lock technology, not the tubby stuff, the future product, but let's look at the first round of products that addresses collagen elasticity. It's aligned to Stanford University, UCLA, 2mm punch biopsies, clinically proven, FDA-approved molecular structure that we now own that allows you to do something with your skin that no one else in the world can do. Watch my fingers. You can nip and tuck. Here's the look. It ain't good. And they think it is. And when you start, it goes even worse, right? You can nip and tuck. You can laser, which looks unsightly, doesn't it, after it's finished? You can inject, which might be outlawed if you look at recent studies. And you can hide. Okay, they're the 4 options in your face, right? Up there, that effect, left and right, is a revolutionary approach to skincare. It's the sources of aging. Watch my finger. It's the all-natural approach. Do you think all-natural is sellable today? We own it. Everyone who slaps something on their face should slap the stuff that we make, but it's the all-natural approach that resets your genes. End of story. Try it for money-back guarantee. They're the results that it was demonstrated. Madonna gives away her age with her hands. She should try this product. Whoever puts that product on her hands will have her as a customer, I'm sure. Right? Now look at this face. This is the nip and tuck, laser, inject, and hide, or do you want that approach? No one believes that's real. And that's your biggest problem. What a great problem to have. Use it, consume it. In the end, they'll realize the stock market helps us. Do you see what I mean? The stock market will make people understand what's happening here to look at what's going on. I'll give you a parallel in a second of what's happening here. So, redesign your health. Is that poignant today in society? Absolutely. Antioxidants with the scanner, skincare. The one on the right-hand side is going to be my all-time favorite right now, and I call it, they call it Vitality. Watch my lips, Vitagra. Okay? Mental acuity proven, physical energy. VO2 max for the athletes increases by 20% as you turn to 40 years of age when you burn energy. Unfortunately, when you're 18, you burn the fat first, then glycogen from the muscle. Secondly, it reverses as you get older. That's the problem. So if you're able to actually redirect the energy burn back into fat and restore glycogen, it means you can prepare yourself, work harder, longer, recover quicker, and still have the energy within the muscle. So endurance athletes love that. Anyone that is doing any form of sport should be on that product every single day. It is the world's very first non-stimulant energy formula. Red Bull, Guaraná, coffee, all that stuff, they're stimulants. It's a non-stimulant energy formula. For me and Michelle and for Alan, it means it's an anti-jet lag. Right? It is the most phenomenal product. It's not a one-hit wonder. You take it every single day, 6 capsules every single day for 90 days. The third part, the Pythagoras part is quite interesting. So, that's a video. So let's get to where we think the last products exist today. $2.7 billion worth of products so far. That brand age-lock, the patents to reset the genes, has allowed us now to do something revolutionary. That's to focus now into a new paradigm. Do you realize that more people die of obesity than starvation on this planet? That's the reality. It happened this year. We have a company that's going to do two things. We're going to help that one concern and then deal with starvation around the world. So what we've done is this. We've looked at the epigenome that sits on top of your genes. We're going to turn on your fat genes that have come away from burning fat back onto burning fat, away from storing back onto burning fat. And we can locally do so. The lady that screamed the most right there lost in 60 days how many inches around your waist?
10 inches in 60 days.
Wow.
She's one.
Off
Who
my
else?
waist.
Who else? Is there anyone else here that's been my product? Alan? How many inches?
8 inches in 15 days.
Okay. Are these the only two in the room here that be on the product? Okay. There was a sample few that be on this program. It is going to completely change the way all of you review diets, which don't work. It is a fundamental change. We've dealt with the sources of aging, like no other company in the world can do. Is there a market there? Absolutely. Look at the statistics. 85 in 2010. Barbara, where are you? Okay. Now, this is the most bizarre thing. This is the CDC. Okay. 1985, 2010. Do you realize the woman that actually project managed this program is right there back of the room?
And I'm here at CDC.
You are. That's. And what was your title there at the CDC?
I was a health scientist and health communications specialist.
And just in short, what was the net result after those few years of discovery?
Well, we did a survey every year starting at 85, so the white states we didn't have the data on, and it kept continuing. In 2011, the whole country was so red, we couldn't tell one state from another, so we had to change the criteria and start all over.
Okay. Do you see how we use leverage in this business? I'm just leveraging facts. Leverage the facts and they will come. The Field of Dreams? Kind of, isn't it? Thank you, Barbara. Yes, Field of Dreams, there you go. So, the right-hand side, this, what Alan's experienced and what Sonia's experienced, everyone can experience very shortly. We're going to bring to market a revolutionary approach to weight management. We're going to be able to, look, here's the way it works, very simply. Do you know that when you're resting and sleeping and not doing much exercise, you're burning 70% of the calories that you consume in the day? Isn't that kind of strange, isn't it? That's from the Discovery Channel, by the way. The Discovery Channel did a 1-hour documentary on our science. Wonderful leverage. So when we're exercising, 30% of those calories are being burnt up, only 30%. So exercising is part of the equation, but it's not the major part of it. So when you go on diets, the last 40 years, are we heavier? We are indeed. Therefore, diets don't work. Just logic says diets don't work. If they did work, we wouldn't be heavier. Agreed? So what's the problem? The problem is this one fact. When we diet, we just lose the fat, and we also lose the engine, which burns the calories at night. So follow me here. When we go back to our diets, what aren't we able to do as much? Burn the calories that got us heavier in the first place. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why diets don't work. This program here is the world's very first patented, unique, revolutionary approach to weight management. We can address that by turning on certain genes in the hypothalamus and certain parts of the body, including locally your fat in certain unsightly areas first. You lose weight there first. Is there a market for this? I think this has to be the most brilliant opportunity in network marketing that's ever existed. And the stock market agrees with us. There's Alan over there, top right-hand corner. And on the bottom. So we're going to redesign that body. We're going to redesign your body using these wonderful tools. Now the whole thing's coming together. Now, as you lose the weight and the skin gets flabby, what about that unsightly skin? We have a device called the galvanic spar that actually melts away subcutaneous fat and cellulite. So as you lose the muffin top, we can melt down the skin. Isn't that a great idea? And then we have a product that we can rub over our skin. Watch this, nip and tuck, laser inject and hide. It's an all-natural product. You see, the point is, you have an armory of what the market wants today, and no one in the world can compete with it. That device there was a $100 million launch, limited time offer. $100 million limited time offer was that little device there, it's sold. And it's the start of the interesting story for the business minds in the room. This slide here, you've got to go back and do your own research. Look at Forbes, look at what we've done, look at our innovation, look at our proven scientists. No company in the world has that level of pedigree to support what we're doing here. What it says to me is the future is ours. The investment of future innovation is ours. Now, the left-hand side here is a personal story of mine. Because when I was building my design industry, my design studio with my designers, I've spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on Mac equipment. Up until 1995, 96, the Macintosh, the Apple, was a designer's tool. Remember my music stuff? I went from the 4-track, 8-track, the desk to an in-thing, music thing. Macs were for the designers, they were for the musicians. But it was our secret kind of cool thing we're into because PC was dominant. Dell, Microsoft, Compaq, Digital, IBM, they were dominant, right? Where are they today? It's a whole different industry. This company transformed technology on many areas. How we looked at music, BMG, Universal, CBS, all the big record labels were literally decimated when iTunes came out. Disruptive technology at the highest. Apple has changed the footprint of music and technology and mobile telephony on this planet. Without doubt, without question, and they're now a $400 billion market cap company. And every single year, those customers that bought the last thing from Apple buy the next thing from Apple. And I use the thing word very specifically. It doesn't matter what they bring out, we buy the next thing from Apple. Agreed? And so when the iPad came out, do you remember Minority Report? And Tom Cruise was looking for whatever he does this?
Yes.
Yeah? When the iPad came out, I thought, that's it. That's that, you know? And my friend said, no, it won't work. I said, what do you mean it won't work? So I bought the iPad, and guess what? When I started using it, they all wanted one. Then I bought the iPad mini. It was a smaller version. Why? It fit in your back pocket. It's easy, right? They love it, right? But no one got the iPad mini. I promise you, it is the best thing they've created so far. And when the iPhone 5, where are you in there? Oh, here it comes. When this turns out, when that comes out, when I bought the very first one of these, and my friend said, we're going to wait for the next version. Why? Because the bugs will be bad. Rubbish. For 15 years, they were brilliant here. Steve Jobs would never have done that to the iPhone, and he didn't. And every single generation, I buy the next one. They innovate, 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 innovate. Well, the reason why I use Apple, and I labour on this point, is because new skin, innovate, 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 innovate. Disruptive technology which is going to change the world and leave a footprint in personal care, nutritional care, in weight management and nutritional care the world has never seen before. Now you either leave here and buy it and walk away and miss it, or you see it and build with us. That's the truth of the matter. As we do so, we donate little Vitameals. Raise your hand if you donate a Vitameal in this room. Okay, distributors. And we become ambassadors and chief ambassadors for Nourish the Children. It's a huge part of what we do. What do you do every single day to leave something significant for others around the world? We created an organization that does something phenomenal. We get to look pretty good, feel pretty good, lose weight, do wonderful things, inspire other people, and help a company that's going to eradicate starvation around the world. To what degree? 300 million meals to starving children today. 300 million meals. We'll do 1 billion meals, and 2 billion meals, and take out obesity at the same time. We believe we can do something significant. So here's the last part. the last part seemed like a scam to us, okay? It's a limited time offer. Why would you only give us new skin, okay, 40,000 kits in a country of 360 million people, of which one third, one half, a lot of people are overweight, but one third are obese? Why would you only limit us and limit Japan to 40,000 kits, and Hong Kong to 40,000 kits, and South Korea, and Australia, and the UK, and France? Why are you limiting us for this global launch of $600 million? Because we could only buy 2 ingredients around the world to fit the demand. We bought the worldwide supply of 2 magic ingredients, which limited our exposure to produce a product that you're able to buy for 1 minute, Eastern Standard Time at 12 o'clock. It's just pure genius. On the 15th of October, at 12 o'clock, about 1 or 2 minutes past, if you haven't hit the button and bought your product, a 90-day supply of this product that does phenomenal results, it's $10 a day, quite frankly, about $10, $11 a day. The problem's going to be there'll be lots of unhappy people and a few happy people. If we can train our teams today that want to make significant income for the future to participate in the rollout, be grandfathered into the future rollout of these innovative products, and it starts on the 15th of October. Now, it's a great concept, isn't it? We've done it many times before. When we first started, it was in 2009. We did a $5 million limited time offer. Why were they doing that? We didn't quite understand as distributors, but they did in China, by the way, and South Korea and Japan. But they're different from us, aren't they? You know, they drink a different Kool-Aid, the one that we drink. Right? But people made a lot of money in 2009. It broke all the records, by the way, in direct marketing sales. Herbalife was the winner at the start. In 2010, it was a $17 million launch day. So we thought we were pretty cool. Herbalife had the record until then, for 11 years. And then the next year, we did a $100 million launch day. And out of pops, these people made $1 million in a day. Really? How did they do that? So now we're kind of looking across to these, thinking, well, maybe they know what they're doing over there. Maybe they've got something down. And that was the galvanic spark. You know, what they were saying is, would you like to buy this little device that got the bingo wings? You know bingo? It's a 2,500 surgery to do that. You can rub away at this thing and it dissolves. It dilutes, disintegrates subcutaneous fat and cellulite. Could you sell that? We sold $100 million in a day. Now we're getting rather educated. So now we're going, well, what if we had this product that was going to put every other dietary company literally wondering what has happened? Not only the results, but also, and do a massive supply, launch to the marketplace, and then close it down. And then, as people lose the weight significantly, that they start to use Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and media, and they're showing massive results like never before, having energy. What if this company has finally positioned themselves to be the greatest network marketing company that's ever existed? To destroy all retail sales records, all future rollout records, every network marketing record, where everybody can be a participant and give back and do something significant. What if that's the case? The stock market has now seen this, and it's your job to work out whether it's real or not. 2 questions are, is it real? And can you make money doing so? On the 8th of December 2008, someone joined my organization as a customer for about a year. I was introduced to her as a jet pilot. 21 years of age, flying Learjets, air ambulance. So here's how significant this person was. When a 747's coming in, that she's coming in with her Learjet because someone's dying, it does that and she does this. 24 years of age. She left that to raise 3 girls and got involved in network marketing. When we got together, she showed me exactly how to make money. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you someone who's really brilliant in this business. my wife's job.
I think he does that to get, you know.
I do.
I have on my phone right now, Gamma Launch, 85 days, 16 hours, 19 minutes, and 18, 17, 16, 15, 14 seconds left to the biggest thing that's ever hit our industry. So everything that Jonathan says, guess what? You don't have to learn exactly how he says it, because I didn't. I got to the top of the company and I just leveraged him. I leveraged all kinds of videos. I leveraged Jonathan. I didn't have to be a master. That scanner he's talking about, I'm at the top of the company. I don't even know how to plug it in. So my background, like he says, I was a commercial pilot. And along the way, and I'll just tell you real briefly, my story is that I thought I was really cool at a young age flying airplanes. Heck, all my other girlfriends were Hawaiian Tropic models, and I was flying jets. And I went to a meeting, something like this, and somebody in front of the room changed my life. They said, I'd rather get, it's J. Paul Getty, actually, the first billionaire in the United States, Lawrence, he said, guess what? I'd rather get 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And of course, I was 22 years old. I was so young, I actually raised my hand and asked him to repeat it. And they said, I'd rather get just 1% of 100 people, 1% of 100 people's efforts and 100% of my own. And I thought, wow, I love people. That sounds really cool, because if I didn't fly, I didn't get paid. And very few times in life, if you don't work, you don't get paid. And that concept was brilliant to me. But the problem was, that company, they didn't tell you how to get from point A to point B, because the leaders didn't even know where A was. So I was just confused. I mean, I said, what if? What if everything they're telling me is true? What if I could go out and make $1 gazillion a month? That sounds like an incredible life to have. To be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, just to have fun and not worry about looking at the right side of a menu. How to have financial freedom. But unfortunately, the company, fell apart, and I was disenchanted. I had a lot of my friends, especially my family. The family are the worst ones. They ridiculed me, made fun of me, and I said never again was I ever going to be involved with another direct sales company. And about 10 years later, I swear, I went to another, I just said, what if? What if? Okay, I'll do it. Okay, what if? And I heard that same J. Paul Getty saying, I'd rather get 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And I thought, oh my goodness, what if this is fate? What if this is what I'm supposed to be doing? I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I jumped on board, and I did actually a really good job with that company. But guess what? The SEC shut us down. And I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't know that there were really cool companies out there. It's almost like thinking of me driving a Pinto. Remember the old Pintos? If you rear-ended them, they would catch on fire? Well, I thought all cars were like the Pinto. I didn't know there were Aston Martins out there or Bentleys. I didn't know that. In direct sales, companies out of 60,000 companies in the last 50 years, 60,000 companies. No wonder I had a bad taste in my mouth, because only 11 companies out of 60,000 have ever hit and maintained $1 billion in annual sales. So wow, 11 out of 60,000? And then out of those 11, only 6 out of those 11 have ever hit and maintained $1 billion in sales. So I said, well gosh, wow. I had a 1 in 10,000 chance of hitting the right one, so it was almost like that misery loves company. I thought, well gosh, it wasn't me, it was the company. You know how we deferred the blame, it wasn't me. And so along the way, another 10 years later goes by, and you just never know what's going to happen when you wake up in the morning. Because I ran into one of my girlfriends. She was turning 50 and looked 40. She didn't have that Botox look or that plastic surgery look. And I'd love to say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because she was talking about some galvanic something. I don't know what she was saying. Her hands were flying, but I was just staring at her face. I wanted her face. And like Victoria fell in love with Amy's face. We came into the business the same way. It was just because I wanted that look. As long as there wasn't a needle involved, I wanted what she had. And why that's such a big part of my story is, wouldn't it be great to sell something? You could just like have duct tape on your mouth and just look good. And not even have to explain the science, you just have to look good. So along the way, that night, I said, can you come over? She said, because she could do a half-face demo. And I wanted her to follow me home, but she had ice cream in the car. And so that night she came over and Pam Vickers gave me a half-face demo, and I said, I don't care how much it costs, I want the product. Whatever it is, as long as there's not a needle, like I said, involved, I want the product. And she was apprehensive about something, because I already had bought the product. And I said, you know what, that's unbelievable. Whoever is going to sell that's going to make a gazillion dollars. They're going to be a millionaire. And she said, well, we could sell it. And I said, well, what are you talking about? Then it dawned on me that it was direct sales. And she said, yeah, it is. And I said, Lisa, I swear I will never do this business. I will never do this business, ever. I mean, I was so adamant. But I said, what else do you have in this catalog? Oh my gosh, I'll be your best customer. And along the way, Pam kept telling me about this big cheese, this big head honcho. I didn't know what an elite team elite, I didn't know what it meant. I just knew that he had customers in 30 different countries. And for a year and a half, they kept telling me, Michelle, you got to meet this guy. He has residual income. He doesn't even have to work. His organizations are growing and growing and growing. And I said, I will never talk to that guy. I will never talk to that bigwig, because if he was that cool, he would try to talk me into something that I wasn't ready to do or ever do. And I just kept hearing how incredibly successful he was, and it just ticked me off because I'm really competitive. I actually became a commercial pilot because my dad told me when I was 6 years old that little girls aren't supposed to be pilots, because I was on an airplane with my identical twin, and she wanted to be the stewardess at the time, the flight attendant. And she said she was going to be the flight attendant when she grew up. And I was flying to Florida eating peanuts at 6 years old, so competitive, thinking, how can I top her? And thinking, well, I'm going to be the pilot. And so my dad taps me on the head as a 6-year-old and says, well, little girls aren't supposed to grow up and be pilots. And I like to say, thank God I didn't tell my dad, I was going to be a plumber, because I'd have to grow up and be a plumber for Pete's sake. So anyway, I was never going to meet this bigwig. But one night I was just in this playful mood. I said, I'm going to meet this guy. I'm going to meet him just to tell him a thing or two, because I knew more about direct sales, and I'm competitive, and I'm sick of hearing about this bigwig making all this money, 30 countries he had customers in. I wanted to meet him. And so when I met him that night, he went through a lot of the things that he had told you tonight. And of course, it's my husband, Jonathan. But how could somebody go from so adamant, there was no way I was ever going to do this business? How could you take somebody that was so adamant to never do this business to being a team lead, the top position of the company? How did that happen? It was because everything he told me, there was no rebuttal. Everything he told me, I was just blown away. I went in crossing my arms to saying, oh my gosh. And he said, you know what, Michelle, with your background and what I've done, together we could build an empire. And of course I said yes to the business. In my mind frame, that I know people like Alan and Dr. Moore and the people around the world that are very successful in the company, not just successful, but truly being a force for good around the world. Jonathan and I both we're chief ambassadors of Nourish the Children. Together we feed thousands of children, not children that are hungry, but children that would die tomorrow without food. So with that being said, Jonathan retired for a whole year, and his check kept going up, even though we traveled to 9 different countries. We took our we have 9 kids between us, or 7 kids, oh my God. I can start sweating now. Oh my gosh. We have 7 kids, but we bought 9 plane tickets, to go to Europe for a whole month, not just a week or 2, but for a whole month. We didn't have to ask anybody for time off. Michelle, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Just to call up Delta. He said after a month's vacation, he said, let's go to Portugal tomorrow for the weekend. I said, you mean tomorrow? We bought 9 plane tickets. We didn't go for a week or 2. We went for a whole month. To this day, it's the best month of my children's life. We didn't have to save up money. We didn't have to ask the boss for time off. And even the worst thing, that if you do get to go on vacation after you save up money to go on vacation, what happens when you're really on vacation? You're worrying about everybody back at the office, not showing up, stealing money, and you're thinking, if I'm not there, I'm losing money. And it was just completely financial freedom. So by the time I said, you know what, we got married, and I said, let me at it. But you know what, I am not going to be a team lead because I married Jonathan. Because I knew my story meant a lot to me. And I knew if I could do it on my own, that I could inspire other women to say, you know what, I can do it. Heck, Michelle can do it. I can do it. And so that's what I did. And I said I put it so far out there that failure wasn't an option. But back to that night, I said to Jonathan, what can I really offer? Here's a company that's 27 years old at the time. What can I offer? And he said, you know what, Michelle, this is what really got me excited. There's at that time, $1 billion company, and everything was in Asia. Nothing is happening in the United States. 0.01% market penetration in the United States. If I had known that the Discovery Channel was going to do a documentary on the first ever genetic approach to weight loss, 360 million people here in North America, 7 out of 10 are either overweight or obese. I didn't even know that then. And I saw the significance of being a part of a company that is just wide open territory. And I said, bingo, let's go out and create $1 billion market in the United States. So what I did, the average team lead takes 6 to 7 years to get to the top of the company. Because when you get a why, and your why is bigger than any obstacle out there, darn it, you slam your hand on the table. You know, I did it in 6 months just because I wanted to win a silly trip to Paris. And, you know, I did it. But along the way, and this is my point, and I'll get to it because I know every second counts, every minute counts right now. But I thought I did something pretty special in the United States, getting to the top of the company in record time. But I met somebody that really, really impressed me. Because when I went on that team elite trip to Paris, I thought, like I said, I was really cool in North America. But here's a woman, she's 5'2", and for 5 years, she was making about $1,000 a month. And there was a couple regions in China that said, you know what, we're going to do a limited time offer. And the only thing that I want to really express to you is how the magnitude of what's happening is, who shops at Costco here? You know when you shop at Costco and you're walking by, oh my gosh, I love this water, oh my goodness, I gotta go home and think about it. No, you can't at Costco, because Costco understands that you set the product there and they're gonna just tease you with it and pull it off the market that night, right? So that's the whole idea. It causes a frenzy. If you can't get, you have to buy it now. So this group in China said, you know what, we're gonna do this. And they asked, I call her the Jimmy Choo shoe lady. They asked her to participate. No, I'm doing my new skin business. You know how many of us get stuck in our ways? And I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna keep doing it. Guess what happened? She didn't participate, and these people made a little bit of money. Then the next year they said, well, if we made a little bit of money, we can make a lot of money. And guess what she did? She says, I'm gonna keep doing my new skin business. I'm gonna keep doing it my way. And they made even more money. And she says, not anymore. Guess what? I'm going to do this. And she went and said, Victoria, guess what? There's going to be a product that you can squirt gel on your leg and it eats cellulite. More than the product, guess what? It's financial freedom. Are you in or out? Let's put blinders on, go to work, and do whatever it takes. Unplug the television, and let's go to work. Let's make millions of dollars and have financial freedom. Live a life that we never have to worry about money. You're not interested? Okay, Alan. This is what we're going to do. No. Okay, Spencer, guess what we're going to do? And she found one person, and 2 people turned into 4, then 8, then 16, then 32. Guess what? It happened. So after 7 years of doing her new skin business at $1,000 a month, she understood the power of this limited time offer. To put this water there and pull it up, put the water, pull it up. It's teasing. She understood the power of this, of a limited time offer. I call it lifetime opportunity, not limited time offer. But she said, okay, and she just understood the system, the rhythm. It was like Susie Q and I holding a jump rope. When we're little, you know, when you jump rope, and I'm going to say, Spencer, jump in. And you're not just going to jump in. What you're going to do is you're going to watch the rhythm. You're going to watch the rhythm, and then jump in, right? That's what she was doing. She was teaching her teams how to be, how to learn the structure and the rhythm. And guess what happened? This is what got me so excited. After 7 years of making $1,000 a month, because she understood the structure, boom, hit $1 million a year. 5'2", Chinese woman. She didn't do anything, wasn't rocket science, it was just understanding the rhythm. And she took those same group of people and said, we're not going to do anything differently. We're going to do the same thing over and over and over. That next year, she went from $1 million a year to $5 million a year. And then guess what she did the next year? She didn't do anything differently. She did the same thing. unplug the television, blinders on, understand the rhythm. Now, last year she went from 5 to 10 million in a year. And then now she's going from 10 to 20 million in 1 year. So this is the first time globally that our company has understood the significance and the power of a limited time offer. And like I said, we're 85 days to the biggest thing that's ever happened in our industry. And we're just looking for the best people right now that said, you know what, this is not going to be 5 years or 6 years. My husband and I are going to be done in 2 years, done for the rest of our lives. But one thing that transcends a big paycheck is really being able to inspire people to say, you know what, let's just do it. Not for the financial freedom, because it's going to be fun. You know, why not? Why not be a part of something that literally has never been done before? Wouldn't it be fun just to say that we can? My goal is to make $1 million a month. And with teaming up with Alan and Dr. Moore and Jonathan, a lot of the team leads here, the Blue Diamonds, here, all these wonderful people, everyone, Victoria, you know, Michelle's coming up from Charleston. We had you drive up, how far did you drive today?
6 hours.
6 hours. Lawrence bought me a glass of wine in the bar. We're finding the best kind of people that say, you know what, why not? Why not be a part of something that is extraordinary? People go out and buy a lottery ticket. They've never bought a lottery ticket, but they buy it because they said, this is the biggest one in the history, you know, of the world. So they want to be a part of something magical. And that's what we're creating right now. We're teaming up with Alan. I spent a lot of time with him in Hawaii. We had such a great time. And he said, you know what? I want to create $1 billion market in the United States. Oh my gosh, Alan, I want to create $1 billion market in the United States. How about if we combine forces and let's do it together? All ships rise with the tide. And we know that we can nail fun. And we've been riding around in his fun motor coach. And I think you left the shock absorbers on the 5,000 miles down the highway somewhere between Kentucky and Chicago. But we're bouncing down the highway. And before I bring Alan up, Susie Q, we were in the motor coach last month, and we did this 5-city tour. And Susie and I got to ride in the back. We were bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. We were cracking up, we were laughing. And the next morning, Susie has this device that tells you how much you walk every morning. And she says, I think it's broken. And I said, why? She says, because it says I walked over 5,200 feet. I said, no, we bounced all day long. Bounced down the highway. And people say, Michelle, how did you get to Team Elite? It's because I really have in my mind that successful people will do what unsuccessful people won't. And failure is not an option. And we just had so much fun. And with that, Alan, we're going to tear it up, and we're looking for the best of the best. And he is the most unbelievable guy. He's made over $10 million with the yo-yo. I mean, and he's going to be the future governor of Hawaii. So.
Wow, how you like that? Guys having some fun tonight?
Yes!
Well, we came from Chicago, Illinois last night, so that was quite a little jaunt coming down. We usually stop about 3 stops, but we wanted to make this stop a very important stop, Atlanta, Georgia. What you guys need to remember is that Atlanta is from Atlanta within a 6-hour radius of driving. You have 1/3 of the U.S. population. Most people actually say, I think it's 8 hours driving, you can hit 1/2 of the U.S. population. Most people think that the population of the U.S. is like on the West Coast, you know, but 2/3 of the U.S. population is on this side of the Mississippi. And so, you know, this was a very important stop. Tomorrow morning I'll be in Colombia, South America. And so, so it was an important stop, so we decided to drive straight through. And so, why are we going so crazy right now here? Well, before I start that, I'll just tell you, you know, my background is in marketing. 24 years I own a kite business, but in 1995 I developed a system to sell yo-yos. My system was very simple, similar to karate. Kids would practice 10 tricks, and when they could accomplish all 10 tricks, they would become white belt. And then we'd give them the next card, and we'd have a stamp, And when they would come in on Saturday morning, we would stamp them every time they completed one of the harder tricks. When they completed 10 more, yellow, eventually green, eventually brown, eventually black belt. Double hands, superstar players of yo-yos. In 1995, this system sold me more yo-yos in Hawaii than all 49 other United States put together. So I decided to bring this idea to Japan. In 1997, I made $1 per yo-yo from companies like Duncan. Anybody remember Duncan yo-yos? Duncan and Omega and Terminator from Arizona. I represented all of the American companies in Japan. My goal was to sell 1 million yo-yos. If I made $1 a yo-yo, I'd make the American dream, right? $1 million a year. Well, I missed my target. In 1997 and 98, sold 10.5 million yo-yos in Japan.
Wow.
In that time, I went as a retailer. That's what I was. I was owning a retail shop. I had a nice car, but basically I was living on $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Suddenly I was making $1.2 to $1.6 million a month. Commissions from yo-yos. And I realized right at that moment that I was riding a wave. And I decided to ride the wave around the world. And I launched within 6 months, Korea, Singapore, and Hong Kong. 6 months later, I did England, France, and Spain. And then I brought the idea back to America. These American companies gave me the exclusive rights to sell at Walmart, Kmart, Toys R Us, Target, KB Toy Stores, Walgreens, everybody. I sell 30 million yo-yos in 3 years. I retire back to Hawaii. I decide maybe to retire forever. I was 39, almost 40, but maybe retire forever. But within 4 years, I was like, man, I don't think I can stay retired. I started actually suffering health problems, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I was taking those, those breathing treadmills, and of course, I was smoking, I was drinking, I was doing too much bad things. And actually it was Pharmanex and the New Skin products that got me back what I needed, which is my health. And so I decided to bring this idea, and I started to bring some of the technology. My first project, big one, was a beauty product that we showed tonight, Galvanic. And I brought that idea to Los Angeles. We went basically 0 to 100 million in sales in 12 months. At that time, I came to Atlanta a couple of times, not very many, but a few times to see what the interest here was. And I can tell you the truth. People in LA are different from people in Atlanta. LA, we'd go, you do like this, and you go like this, and, try to do it like twice a week. They say, can we do it twice a day? In LA, that was the response I got. In Atlanta, it's like, oh, we gotta do it twice a week? Like, how about once a month? Will it still work? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's not that you're lazy, but you're kind of lazy, You like beauty, but it's not about like doing it every day, Well, when this new pearl appeared in April, I knew that we should come back to Atlanta. This was a very unique technology, the only ingredient in the world that can give back 20-year-old levels of elastin. And then, as we launch our weight loss product, I'm like, wow, this is going to be a great market. So I want to just say that there are 5 things that I think give you a tremendous opportunity here in Atlanta. And the number 1 thing, exclusive, unique, and patented technology. No one can copy what we are doing. But the best part about it is that the technology works instantly. You can see the result. Whether it is the facial pearls or the weight loss product, the result is incredible. And so quick. Do Americans like instant results?
Yes.
You bet. Number two, the products are actually guaranteed. If you use this little pearl, got where I just put it right here, for 2 months and you don't look younger, you get it free. Do Americans like guarantees?
Yes.
You bet. The third thing is our company. We are growing right now. $82 a share our stock price. When we started this galvanic thing, we were $7 a share. You know, like just a couple months ago, we were $44 a share. I mean, I had made so much upside on my stock, I was planning to sell. I almost sold it at $45 or $46 a share. We went to $82 a share. Thank God I didn't sell. Right?
Right.
Now, what I'm saying is we're growing right now. Not because Alan Nagao says, the New York Stock Exchange, Forbes magazine featured us 5 times with positive articles. Forbes magazine. And so, do you want to be with a growing company in this economy?
Yes.
Yes.
That's us. That's New Skin. So, the fourth thing I think is the hardest thing for me or anyone to really understand, even though I owned my own business and I did get leveraged income, my yo-yos was a leveraged income, I got $1, right? No matter who sold it, Walmart, Kmart, Toys R Us, whoever. But I knew something very different about the yo-yo business. When I started a yo-yo boom in a country, the minute it started, I knew for sure that within 1 year, it would be 0. It'll go up and it'll close 0. When we launched this product, and I have some friends here from Colombia, 3 years ago we launched, not this product, but of the facial product, and every year it increases in sales. Now, with 90% of that market, not only me, my kids, my grandkids yet unborn, will literally have education, a legacy of retreat centers and everything beyond my generation. This is leverage. And for many people, that may be difficult to understand, so I'll explain it with just this simple product. There is 60 of these little pearls in a bottle. You need to use it twice a day. So 1 bottle lasts 30 days, 1 month. And therefore, after 1 month, the person purchases another bottle and we get commission again. Now, what that means is I make the sale once and I get paid over and over and over. And if that person ends up introducing it, like my friend back here in Colombia did, and introduces it, and they're doing 1 million points a month, I get commission. Exponentially growing. Well, here in your city, there is less than 1/100 or 1% of the people even know this product exists. Weight loss, the one that Jonathan was talking about, 1/1000 of 1%. And you happen to be the ones that know and are the first ones. So the last point I want to make is really timing. You get to be some of the first ones. And that's the exciting thing. So most people ask me, how do I start? And very simply, you can start with just a bottle of pearls. Doesn't matter. We don't give you a sign-up fee or anything. You can just purchase this product. You can purchase it if you're a distributor at wholesale. No sign-up fees, nothing. And you can start. That's a simple way. We have kits, fully assembled kits, down to shaker mugs for weight loss. You can get everything in a kit, $365. It's a great way to start the business, simple. Better? Get 3 kits and get your fourth kit for free. Buy 3, get 1 free. It is a very unique proposition for business people. Why? If I buy 3 kits and I sell 3 kits, I've made all my money back. ROI, 100%, return on investment. Now, use the last kit as my demo. I can then demo the last kit. So I buy 3 packages on the right here and get the last kit for free. Now, we want all of our distributors to be using some of our products, whether it's the nutrition, maybe it's a beauty product, whatever you prefer. I mean, it could even be toothpaste and things. So what we do is we actually have weight loss and nutrition and cellulite, body galvanic systems, different kits. You choose what you want, and the idea is this. Number 1, get your money back and get your kit for free. Number 2, become an executive with Nu Skin. What does that mean? When we actually start with Nu Skin, we buy the 3 kits and get our kit for free, and now we sell off some kits, make our money back, but the next step is important. Find 4 people. 4. Now, I know we say 4, but how many tires does your car have?
4.
5.
5. Yeah, we have 4 tires and a spare in the trunk, right? You hope you have a good spare in the trunk, right? So yeah, I actually say to people, you know what, get a spare too. So go for 5. But the idea, get 4 people at 1,000 points or dollars each. 1, 2, 3, 4,000 plus your own, 5,000 points, and you reach an executive with Nu Skin, 4,500 points. This is very important for you to know, because how you qualify to get that weight loss product is you have to be an executive with Nu Skin. We only give what we call our leaders, our executives, the ability to have the limited time offer. It's a limited offer, and we are going to give it to our leaders. So become a leader with Nu Skin, get your, find 4 people, you get it, become an executive. The inventory doubles your sales. And what do I mean by that? When we demonstrate this product, you will see the difference. What happens is, when do they want to buy the product? They look like this when they're leaving the room. When do they want to buy the product? Right there. And if you have the product, you can sell it to them. That over doubles your sales. So the reason behind what we're doing is a simple replication, a very simple concept. I can tell you it works. It absolutely works. But the foolproof side of this is if anybody buys a kit, they buy 3 kits, and for whatever reason they cannot sell it, the company will literally buy it back up to 1 year later. We have a 90% money back guarantee for 1 year on any unsold, unused, sellable kit. Basically, any kit that wasn't sold, the company will give you 90% of your money back on a credit card. We charge a 10% restocking. Is that a fair deal?
Yes.
Okay? So, in the end, it's really about something of significance, I think, by our company. Our company is a publicly traded company. We cannot exaggerate or lie about any of the figures. When we say average incomes, this is truly average. I'm actually an above average Blue Diamond executive with Nu Skin, okay? I have 21 executive legs, but if you have 12, as a Blue Diamond right here, 12, the average income is about, actually currently is $612,000 a year, which is about $50,000 a month. Is that pretty good around Atlanta? I know in Hawaii we can live, right? In Atlanta probably live well, right? And so that's what we're talking about, average. You choose where you want to be. You can choose to go higher. I did. I chose to go higher. In fact, all 3 of us, Michelle Hilberry, Jonathan, and Stephen Moore, and I, are actually above this level. We are what we call team elites of New Skin. Now, on the next level down, with 8 people, 8 teams in your organization, you're called a diamond. And a diamond does $10,000 a month. Now, for a lot of people, they tell me at $10,000 a month, they're pretty much free. They can do what they want to do. It might not be a great living, but it's good. Okay? And some people tell me at Ruby level, which is how you see this trips to Hawaii, how you qualify for these trips, is you find 4 people that become executive. You do that by September 30th, and they will send you and your wife to that trip to Hawaii, to an island called Kona, on the big island of Hawaii. I happen to know this place very well. Okay? Why I'm saying this to you is because a lot of people tell me this simple fact, that at Ruby Executive, which is about $2,500 a month, doesn't sound like much, but a lot of people tell me that if you pay my mortgage every other month, I'll be free. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that freedom is not that far away for most people. It's just a few $1,000s a month away. They can still do their little deal and be free. So I just challenge you to think, what would be your position that you would like to get to? With the limited time offer of our new product, I would say, suggest to you, go all the way. Don't stop until you get to the Team Elite actually range. But I'm gonna ask this simple question tonight. We have a couple people here that are quite interesting because they're from here. They live here. And I think you should hear, you know, their side of it, because you're hearing it from Team Elite level, like at the high level. But from people that are just getting started, what they're seeing with this business. So I'd like to bring up Susie, if you could, and tell us a couple of things about what you noticed, and what did you do before New Skin is a good question, and how's things going?
Before New Skin, I was in corporate sales. Well, even before corporate sales, I was in the home theater, audio video, and I actually was one of the founding members of the trade organization for that group of people, CEDIA, the Custom Electronic Design and Installation Association. I sat on that board for 2 years. But then I had a baby, and when I had that baby, I had just started a new job, and I was traveling. I was going to 5 cities, every week I was in a different city. And he had ear infections, and he would get an ear infection, and he'd go on an antibiotic, and 10 days later he'd come off an antibiotic, and then he'd get another ear infection. So I was traveling, and my baby was crying, and I was miserable. I was just miserable. And so I left that whole industry, and I went to work for Siemens Communications. Siemens is one of the 10 largest companies on the planet, 350,000 employees. And I figured, it's a signal from here to there, I can do that, right? And I did it for 5 years. And I moved over to Bell South when my manager moved to Bell South and hired me away. And I left there after about 3 years and went to Siebel Systems, jumped from the frying pan into the fire, because I really discovered I'm not a good corporate citizen. I hate that life. And that's when, as I said earlier, I had that 70 to 100 hour a week job, and then I took my big fat paycheck from my $4 million sale, and I opened a spa. Far away from technology as you could get, right? We're gonna rub people. Okay, so it was fun. I loved my spa. It was beautiful, and I really enjoyed it, and it gave me a lot of hats to wear and a lot of things to do. But what I found is I had bought myself another 70 to 100 hour a week job. And that was really hard. And I can tell you stories. Someday we'll drink a glass of wine and you'll hear about it. But so I left and I closed my spa. I sold my assets to my medical director, and I took a few months off, and then I went back into sales because that's what I knew how to do. But I was in the skincare industry because I really loved the skincare industry. I really, really enjoyed it. And so I started, and right before I closed my spa, I met Jonathan Hilbury. And I started selling that scanner with Jonathan. And at that time, doctors didn't know what antioxidants were. They, not only that, they didn't even care, did they?
No.
They were like, go away, you know? So, so it was a really, really hard thing to do, and I left after about 6 months. And this is one of the excuses I hear people say, well, I need to earn a living for my family, and I wasn't really earning a living for my family yet at that point, because I was concentrating on the scanner. And really, when you open a brand new technology in a brand new market like that, it's a 12 to 18 month cycle before you really have it going. And I didn't have 12 to 18 months to get it going. So I went and I started working for an organic skincare company. It was a beautiful product, gorgeous. I traveled to the most beautiful spas in the Southeast. I handled 13 states. Here I was on the road again, 2 kids now, right? And and my paycheck in a few years, that between 2006 when I met Jonathan and 2011 when I came back in 5 years, my paycheck had gone up about $20,000 to $30,000 a year. Jonathan had added zeros to his paycheck, and I'm like, who was the idiot here? So I was texting Jonathan. I said, Happy New Year, Jonathan. He said, Happy New Year. I got married. And I went, you got married? That's crazy. I said, I have got to hear this story. And he said, you've got to meet my wife. And I said, yes, I do. And it took us, between all of our schedules, a couple months to get together. But I sat down and I met Michelle. And she told me her story. And I looked at Jonathan and I said, she's what we've been missing. And he goes, I know. And I said, I'm in. And I came back in to work with Michelle. And I became an executive in 5 days. And it's been a heck of a ride ever since.
I want to get somebody that is, do you know anybody here that's pretty new, maybe just starting or just?
Show.
I just want you to get a flavor for just really
She's newer.
early in on the. Just tell us, your background,
Okay.
and then why Newstead for you?
Okay. Well, I've been a private investor, mostly real estate and privately held companies. And really I got into it because of my love for new business and my love for startups and just really being a part of something new that's growing and innovative, and some of my businesses are technologies. And one of the businesses I got involved with my husband is a golf business. And so we launched down that road, and I invested a lot of money in it, and we were growing it, and we kind of, after 3 years, hit a standstill. And hitting that standstill, we were looking at each other, we're like, okay, what's next? I mean, what are we gonna do now? And so while we were kind of waiting for our next step there, I started looking again. I wanted to get involved. My boys are out the door, and I always said I'm gonna raise my boys first, or get them out the door, and then I'm gonna start my career. And so I started looking, and in January I wrote down my goals for the year, and one of the things I asked for was to learn how to meditate. And so that was in January, and in probably about February or March, I met Amy Sullivan, met her through a friend, Todd Duffy, and come to find out she teaches meditation, and she traveled with Deepak Chopra, was on his staff for years. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have this girl being delivered to me, and she actually was on staff with Deepak, and she can teach me meditation. So I immediately scheduled to go to one of her meditations, and she had the antioxidant scanner. And from there I got scanned and fell in love with that. I'm very much into health and nutrition, so that interests me tremendously. And she introduced me to the business.
And so I fell in love with this business because of its reputation, the fact that it's a publicly traded company, that it's doing well, that it's been around for so many years, gave me a lot of confidence in this company. And then the products. I mean, just health and nutrition, anti-aging, the best of the best, the patents. I mean, when you have a patent, we have a patent product, my husband and I do, you occupy a space that nobody can compete in. And that's just, it's so brilliant. I mean, we really have that in this company with our anti-aging sciences. Nobody can compete in this space. So it just was the right fit for me. You know, I think I really asked for it at the beginning of the year. I think it showed up at my door, and I just needed to jump in. And so I signed up in April, and then in June 1st, I attended a meeting. It was a monthly meeting, I think one of the first in Atlanta. And I sat there, kind of just removed myself from the room, I mean, from everyone attached to anybody, and just kind of was an observer the entire meeting. And I just saw a great team. I saw people show up with their gifts. I saw somebody do sales training. I saw Michelle do recruiting training. There was just team members showing up with their gifts and their talents, and I was so impressed with this team. And I'm like, you know what, this team is going somewhere, and I want to go with them. And this
Wow.
is how I got in.
Well, I just want to bring up one last guy over here, and this is Dr. Stephen Moore, and incredible leader with New Skin, as well as innovative, the doctor's program, and doctor himself. And I met him years ago, actually, in Provo, Utah, as you were graduating from your doctor's field.
Yeah.
So anyway, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. Well, my name is Stephen Moore. I live in Palm Beach, Florida, and I'm 37 years old. I started this business 10 years ago when I was 27, and I started the business really because I just graduated from chiropractic college. I had a couple $100,000 in school loans, 9 years invested in my education. I had what I thought was a dream job lined up in a great practice in New York where my family was. And I had this time where I had to study for my boards, and I was so busy studying, I had no time to work or do anything else. And so I was living on credit cards for a while, and I had racked up like $7,000 in credit card debt. And I said, okay, this isn't working. I need to figure out a way to make some money. And I knew I didn't have time to go get a job or a traditional type of income. And so I knew that I needed to sell something and make a profit off of distributing something. And so I looked at different health products that led me to nutrition. I got attracted to the new skin because of the scanner. I really liked the science and the innovation and the disruptiveness of that. And I never did any business like this before, never did any business period. I actually invested the $1,100 on my credit card. I had no idea. I figured I had $7,000 in debt. What was another $1,100? And I just kind of got involved, and I followed what they taught me to do. And my goal was to make $2,000 a month. I wasn't looking to do anything else other than that, just get my bills paid for and then maybe bring it into my practice. But as I started to learn about this and asked a lot of hard questions and went out to the corporate headquarters, I just decided that I looked at what my life would be like as a chiropractor, which is working really, really hard, hopefully getting a practice off the ground, having all that stress, having my patients own my life, and that's what I thought was going to be a great lifestyle for me. And then I compared it to the top leaders in New Skin, and they were making over $500,000 a year on average. Most of it was residual. They were working very little, if anything at all. And I just compared those two things, and it was kind of an easy decision for me. I said, if I'm going to be successful and work hard at something, the New Skin vehicle is way better because you've got leverage and residuals, and it's not only dependent on me. So I came out of that event 10 years ago, decided to do this, walked completely away from my education, and turned down that job offer, and had a mother and family and grandmother and everyone screaming at me thinking I lost my mind. But they didn't see what I saw. And what I learned was a really important lesson is you don't want to listen to people that didn't have the same experience that you have. And I was angry with my family for a couple of years. They tried to talk me out of it. And what I learned was they were just trying to protect me from something that they knew nothing about, something that they feared. Now, my family loves everything about the business, even though they still don't really know what I do. They just see that all my debt's paid off. We bought a new house. We're actually building a getting ready to build another house, a bigger one. I've got a great marriage with my wife. We've got a son that's 18 months old. And the environment that New Skin has been able to create for myself, for my wife, who's able to stay home full time with our son, for my son, is unlike anything I would have been able to do and anything else I would have chosen, definitely not as a chiropractor. And so it's that time freedom, it's that control, it's that being able to go get married in Hawaii and take almost a whole month off and come back and your check is more than it was the month before, even though you didn't work at all that month. I mean, that's just a dynamic that doesn't exist many other places. And so it's not once have I ever regretted doing this. It wasn't easy, but it is definitely, definitely worth it. So thank you.
So maybe I'll say it this way. You know, I have no idea how you got here, what you came for. Maybe you came because your friend told you, come and eat dinner, and you're looking at your watch going, where's my dinner, you know? Is that it? You know, the little snack? You know, and so you're like, oh man. Or maybe you came because you were told, hey, come in here, this crazy Hawaiian guy is driving all the way from Chicago, whatever. I have no idea what actually brought you here. But all of a sudden, you're listening and you're hearing, maybe it wasn't anything but just that last piece right here. And you're thinking, you know what? I think I've heard enough. I think I'm doing this. How many of you are new here tonight? Raise your hand. Quite a few of you. How many of you are thinking, I think I've heard enough? I'm doing this. Raise your hand. Wow. Well, I have something really special for you. One of the biggest and best tools to actually do this business, I'm going to give you for free tonight. And I don't, by the way, we don't do this very often, so don't expect it next time you come. But I'm going to give you something really special that will help you with your business. So can you guys come up here, the new ones that are planning to do this? Yep, come on up. No, just the new ones. Wow, a lot of you. Oh, this is going to cost me tonight. Wow, that many of you? I didn't even see that many new hats come up.
They changed their mind and said free.
Wow. Come on up over here, yeah. Wow, Anybody else? Just want to make sure we have enough of these for you guys. So I'm going to give you one of the best tools for this business. Woo! Wow. Okay, let's give them a big hand. So you saw the presentation today. I'm going to give you a purse-sized version of it because one of the things that really helps is just have some pictures and that last chart with the money and everything from the beginning to end is right here in this little chart. And it's a purse-sized version, so it fit in your, in a small area. Okay. I just want to first congratulate you. You are really going to make history here in Atlanta. These are some of our first big events that we're running, and we're coming back month after month after month. And I think the next one, I'm not sure, after Summit, are you guys coming back on the 27th? I think we were discussing 27th. 27th, and then Tuesday, and then 28th Detroit and 29th in Chicago. Is that-
Right.
Is that right? Is that okay? Anyway, we didn't finalize everything, but I think it's the 27th.
Right.
We're gonna have the next big event over here.
In July,
August.
August, yeah. But I'm going to tell you literally the most important things you can do. These guys, these girls, I should say, here are running a very effective weekly event and training. So you can learn everything you need to do this business. And in just 1 week, my counterpart, a brand new team lead named Anwin, is coming into Atlanta and going to run a very special training. And you guys could attend and learn literally 3 months of how to do this business in 1 day. And so it's you cannot believe your amazing timing. Because nobody like this ever came in to do this kind of stuff for you guys like this. And so I want you to take full advantage of this guy named Anwin and his amazing skill building processes that he will teach you. So with that, anyway, I'm going to give you each one of these on me. This is something that I actually produced, legally approved by the company. So congratulations. And we're going to, okay, and I'm just gonna just ask you to do us a favor. I want to ask who invited you here tonight? Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Oh, this is right here. Wow, good for you.
It was a trifecta effect. Michelle invited me. I invited Renee. She brought her boyfriend. I told Jason yesterday. He drove up from Panama City today. 6 hours.
Wow, no kidding. Oh, right on.
It all happened within the past, like, pretty much
And
20
then-
Wow,
hours.
you're gonna see
Yeah.
an executive building one night. That's what you're gonna see. That's awesome. Congratulations. And you?
Gloria.
Gloria, come on down. Yeah.
Parker.
Congratulations.
They brought me through Gloria Park.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So like this?
Yes.
Wow, Gloria, you're gonna be like hopping over here. Get ready to work, baby. All right, and you?
Gloria.
Oh, really?
Go stand up.
Wow, congratulations. And you? This way.
Michelle.
Through,
Michelle.
which one, right here? Come on up. Wow, good job. Wow, this is really amazing. You're gonna get some fast growing executives. Come on over. Congratulations, Sonny. All right. Amy Sullivan, where's Amy? Is she here?
Her babysitter had to leave.
Oh, did she? Okay.
She had to leave because her
Well,
babysitter.
congratulations. Let me give this girl a high five. You brought so many people here today, training and everything, and you? Yes, Catalina. Come on. Catalina is from Bogota, Colombia. She's a brand new top leader of Colombia, Blue Diamond leader of Colombia. Her team is doing over 1 million points a month.
Oh my God.
Really good. Just really, congratulations on that. And let's see, who brought you guys? Claudia, right here. Claudia. And from El Salvador, right? I met you at dinner.
And this is cute.
Oh, Susie! Susie Q! Well, I'd like somebody, maybe Michelle or Jonathan, could you take a picture of the group? Can we squeeze a little bit together?
Use the stage too, you guys.
Get up on the stage.
Yeah, right here is okay.
Okay.
It's okay, yeah.
All right.
Just go ahead and squeeze in. We want to take a picture for the president of New Skin, Mr. Scott Schwartz and Matt Hall, who, oh, you want a picture too? Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
You want to take a Colombian picture too? Colombia. Okay, good. All right. Okay, good. But you guys are actually making history. How many of you would like to come to the event on the 27th, the training on the 27th? Yes. Raise your hand, let me see what kind of hands we got here. What I'd like you to do is leave your phone number and I will have the team that's running down or this team help and contact and give you text or some kind of information, email information so that you guys can attend that event. It is actually a pretty exclusive event. So we'll just kind of just double check on the details of that event. And then Susie is going to, you guys going to a fast car training or something at the beginning of the month?
We need to figure out exactly how we're gonna do it. We wanna take it and do it in Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so I mean, you guys are not going to believe that this is all just starting. I won't say for you, but with you right now. So you're very, very fortunate right now. The timing is wonderful. I just want to congratulate you and just wish you the best of success with New Skin. And I just want to congratulate all of you for having a great event today. And we'll be back again with Michelle Hilberry and Jonathan and the gang. And then the month after that, I'll be back over here in the month with Georgia again. Okay? Okay, so can I get all of the new people to get together with your host and just form a little group, like a little circle or a little group of 4 to 6, and we're going to finalize the night with this one question that I want everybody to ask. So can I have you guys write down this question? Hello, hello? Hello, hello? Hello? So write down this question. What did you like or learn from tonight? And what is your next step? What is your commitment from this event? Okay? What did you like or learn? And what's your next step?